So my role in sound for this particular project is doing voiceover work. So I do all of the recording and sort of directing for all of the voice actors and the way that they portray the script for the different characters. I've done a number of projects that have involved voice acting before, but this one's particularly unique because the way that the two characters bounce off each other in their dialogue is so important to making connections with both the characters and making a connection between the player and the story. Because it is a personal story. It's about the two of them and their journey to escape this temple. So one thing we did that's a little unique this time around is we actually put both Max and Tara, who are the two actors, in the same room. So we put two mics in there and hooked them up so that they weren't recording into each other. And that way they could actually have conversations and create banter and have a much better relationship in the booth that makes the relationship between the characters a lot more cohesive.
Okay, now that that's taken care of, who are you?
Well, you said it yourself. I'm Sean.
No. What are you?
Something that we said to them from the very beginning was that the characters will become them and not the other way around. So both of the actors were chosen for their personalities and the way they portrayed the voices of these characters. So their personalities have a lot to do with the way the characters are actually written. So for example, a lot of the quirky, sassy lines that Halen says were Tara's own creation. She came up with them on the spot while being in character. Same with Max being the slightly more calculated, slightly naive Sharp. So between the two of them, it's created these two incredibly unique characters that I think people are going to be able to connect with really easily.
Well, I guess you're not going to be able to steal any of this stuff after all.
Procure!
So the basic process for voice recording is the communication between the booth and the computer. So the person who's on the other side of the booth, who's doing the recording, is going to be going through with the actor line by line, and they're going to sort of do rough runs and talk about how they want it said and stuff like that. The actors at this point have already read the script, and from that point it's just a matter of hitting record and in most cases just letting them go. I mean, the best thing you can do with talented actors is just kind of let them interpret the script as they will. Don't shoehorn them into saying exactly what's written on paper unless it's absolutely necessary. So a lot of the dialogue and banter between the two characters, besides the very specific things we needed them to say, is mostly ad-libbed. So they kind of came up with it on the spot based on their characters. But otherwise it's a pretty straightforward process. The skill comes in properly directing the actor to keep them in character and to keep them on focus. But focus can be a hard thing to maintain because you tend to have a lot of fun. I find bloopers are a great thing.
My name is Tara Patterson and I'm voicing Halen. I love Halen. She's super cool. She has a lot of attitude and she's just a badass who really doesn't have to listen to what anyone else says in the good way. You know, she's very independent and it's a lot of fun playing her. Well, I definitely get Halen's sense of humor and her attitude and sass I can relate to. So I definitely think that I bring some of my own attitude and jokes and all of that. Everything they have, the different creatures and characters, it's really interesting. And there's always something to do. There's always something in every corner, and it's a really interesting setup, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play in.
Hello, my name is Max Leeming. I'm voicing Sharp. It's just such a cool character. I want to be more specific, but like it's a sword with a computer in it. Like, come on, I love it. It's interesting. There's a lot of crazy stuff in there. I like that there's an awful lot of interesting robots. Because robots are bloody cool. In case you hadn't noticed, I like them. Also very three-dimensional as far as games go. Like, you can get a lot of mileage out of three-dimensional areas.
Would you want to be stuck with Max in Temple on another world?
Yeah, no, I do. Max is really cool. So we've grown a bond from working with each other, and I mean, as long as he just says strawberry milkshake in his British accent for me, then I'm golden. I think that it's going to be a really fun game. I'm super stoked that I got to play Halen, and I think people are going to really like it.